least for me, because Kirk got here.
Right?
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
You know, it was kind of like, and did go to Bellingham.
Went and checked it out. Camped up there, took my sabbatical. That's what this was all about, was deep pain in my life and being off-center and knowing that I was trying to live a life that was pursuit of truth, but I was trying to live a life that I had been raised to think was the way, the traditional way. I was raised by my grandparents. My mom was a single mom, and they are devout Catholics, and raised me with some very traditional morals of dinner time and family, community. And as I got older, those things fell away from our society. And so, you know, that's my goal in life, is truth and genuine experiences, you know, and not doing it to what we're told it's supposed to be like, but what we know in our hearts it's supposed to be like. And it's so simple, you know, it's this right here.
Yeah,
this is fellowship. This is church.
It is. This is right
You
here.
know?
This is church, and that's even what Jesus said. You know, you won't find. I can't remember the exact quote, but you know, it's like you're not going to find me in a church or a construction of man.
Right.
I think is what it boiled down to, is that you'll find me here. Here, you know, this is where you find Spirit.
That's my favorite. God is like water to me, and He pools in the low spots. Water always pools and finds the low spots, and that's where the truth is. The truth isn't up high in these pillars of man and these buildings of grandeur. They're down by a creek in the dirt, hanging out, you know, talking about life, what matters. And we're all, I think, collectively coming back to that. The ones that are aware and open,
Yep.
you know, to what maybe has been lost
Yep.
over the years, over the decades.
So how do you guys feel, like, in your heart? Like, if you just check in right now with, you know, like the feelings that are going on in your heart, how do you feel in terms of, like, peacefulness, and maybe compared to other times in your life?
Oh, well, this is the most peaceful place right here. I mean, running water, trees, plants, animals. They just, you know, how can you be more peaceful? You know, and there is stress. There's always stress. You know, I mean, this isn't my property, quote unquote. I don't own it, quote unquote. You know, I pay rent, but you know, look around you.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, come on.
Really?
Yeah, for me personally, this is the most peaceful I've ever felt in my whole life. I came up here because of being divorced and following the traditional kind of white picket fence, marriage, kids, path to happiness. And it, you know, it didn't take, as they say. And, you know, that was devastating. I, you know, tried to emulate my grandparents that were married for 60 years. And, you know, had 6 kids and put roots in the ground, as my grandma would say. And my path is different. And so my heart's intention was always there, but sometimes things in life don't coincide with what your heart, you know, desires. And so sometimes our paths are different than what we think they are. And that's what this is all about. I came up here to get away from the pain of being divorced and explore and be free. And just feel the land and camp and be simple. And, you know, I had a working plan, but any adventure, a working plan is just to get you on the road.
Right.
And it completely changes. And if you're not open to that, it can be a very frustrating experience. But if you're open to that and you accept it and you look beyond all the distractions of cell phones and, you know, whatever else we have, and you tune in to yourself and to that inner small still voice, it's the most amazing thing. I'm the most peaceful I've ever felt in my life.
Right on, dude.
I really truly can say that, and it's a different feeling. I'm not used to it. I'm used to feeling like backed into a corner.
Yeah, well, you know, I felt it from you guys when I walked up here.
Wow.
It was like a feeling that I remember, which is the reason that I'm doing this documentary actually, is because it's a real pleasure hanging out with you guys. And it's the same experience that I had before. It was like a loving experience, and there was no, I didn't feel like I was being judged. Or, matter of fact, I felt like I was being incredibly welcomed.
Awesome.
Yeah.
So this is a place of love.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's awesome.
You know,
I feel it, brother.
We actually, you know, regularly. So I've lived here for a year now, and Michelle and I, you know, we moved here as a couple, quote unquote. You know, we're you know, changing that coupleness, but we put love here into this water every day. You know, and we know it changes things. We know it does. There's flowing water here. And you put your intention into it, and it goes out, and it hits all the other water, and it spreads that intention. Spreads that intention across the world. That's what you have to do. You just spread your intention of love, and it's just going to go everywhere. That's how you got to do it.
Thanks, brother. Thanks, you guys. I'm going to
Heck yeah, Ed.
call this one a wrap, huh?
Absolutely.
It's beautiful.
Heck